Have you noticed that some people get upset instantly, while some people take a little longer before responding? However, one tends to get work done quickly, while the other prefers to maintain healthier relationships when it comes to work. We're talking about equanimity. Equanimity simply means the ability to maintain calmness and thoughtfulness, especially in triggering situations. Why do we need equanimity? We need it because even though work is important, maintaining relationships is equally important because the people are not separate from the work. Equanimity is the ability to stay calm, especially in stressful and emotional situations. It does not mean that you don't feel emotions, but it means that you are temperate enough to allow your logical brain assess the situation and make decisions for you as against your emotions. Why do we need to be calm in emotional situations? I think it's pretty obvious. When in relationships, be it your family, be it your workplace, or wherever, when we lack equanimity, we have stressful relationships. It looks like interrupting people when speaking. It looks like not listening. Imagine you have a friend or a boss who never pays attention to you or who doesn't listen to you when you say things. You won't feel valued, and when you don't feel valued, they don't get the best of you. That is why we need to maintain calmness in stressful and emotional situations. Also, maintaining calmness helps us to understand people better. It helps us not to misinterpret tones. It helps us not to overreact. It helps us not to regret our reactions. Have you ever sent a message and you're thinking, oh, I need to delete that, or I need to edit that? It just makes the situation awkward. Allowing your emotional state to be calm so that you give the right response is the goal here. Many times I've come across situations, I've encountered people who would tell you that they wish they didn't say what they said, even though they were in the right. Have you seen that before? Where someone genuinely wronged you, you respond, but now your response is now the subject matter. That's exactly what we're trying to avoid. Giving the best response in all your relationships, be it as a parent, be it as a boss, anywhere it is where you have to maintain a relationship, requires that you apply equanimity. Okay? So let's talk about the cost of not practicing equanimity. By the way, it's not a personality trait, it's a skill. And I'm going to show you how to develop this skill. The cost of not practicing equanimity: broken relationships, emotional exhaustion, regret after reacting, conflict escalation, children learning emotional instability from the adults around them. This one is dear to me. Stress affecting your physical health. A moment of emotional impulsiveness can damage a relationship that took years to build. So, is equanimity achievable for everyone? The simple answer, yes. But it doesn't happen overnight. Some people are naturally calmer than others. But emotional regulation is a skill and the brain can learn it. The pause between emotion and reaction can actually be strengthened. I'll walk you through the practical steps to achieving equanimity. Like I said, every brain can achieve this. So the first step is pausing before responding. Even a 5 minutes pause between a conversation can make a whole lot of difference. What happens here is you give your amygdala, the part of our brain where our emotions are seated, you give it the chance to cool off. And in that cooling off, you activate the executive part of your brain that can actually give logical responses without escalating the emotions any further. Step 2, name the emotion. Instead of becoming the emotion, identify it. You can say, I feel embarrassed, I feel stressed, I feel overwhelmed, or I feel disrespected. The moment you name it, you separate yourself from the emotion. Step 3, slow the body. There's this common knowledge that we Nigerians are aggressive. You can't really blame us, but there's something we can do about it because it's not always the best approach to life. Slow your body. If you live in Lagos, I understand the need to be fast paced, but it's not always great when addressing certain situations. Give yourself the chance, give your body the chance, your nervous system in particular, the chance to calm down, to simmer down. In a stressful emotional situation, we get triggered. And when we get triggered, we don't give the best responses. We don't always address things the right way. Step 4, ask a better question. Instead of, how do I react? How about you ask, what response protects both the truth and the person? I have noticed people who react quickly appear to be more productive in the moment, but they struggle to maintain healthy relationships. On the other hand, people who are more thoughtful, people who respond or who pause before responding, appear to be slower, but they maintain healthy relationships over a long period of time. Now, which one would you say is most important? This is where I would say there needs to be a balance. Assess the situation. Not everything calls for a fire brigade approach. You must be intelligent about when to react with calm and when to react instantly. I mean, if the house is on fire, you don't want to be thoughtful and be pausing before responding. But here's what I'm learning. Relationships are not separate from the work. The work is about relationships. If you really think about it, it's about people. Relationships are part of the work. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. This quote is by a psychologist and a Holocaust survivor, Viktor Franklin. Equanimity is not weakness. It is emotional strength under pressure.